Well, let's come back and take a look at the local dailies. All right, let's take a look at the local dailies now, and we start off with the Daily Nation. What's killing Kenyans? And that's the main story on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. They call it an unhealthy mix inside the diseases and system failures driving preventable deaths. Kenya's 2025 population situation analysis report, a comprehensive assessment of the nation's health and demographic landscape, paints a troubling picture. Kenyans are living longer, with life expectancy climbing to nearly 67 years, but the journey to old age is increasingly plagued by preventable diseases. Now, chronic illnesses now account for 40% of all deaths in the country, and the health system is stretched with scarce resources. That's the main story right here on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. It says, when old killers meet new ones, and they give a percentage of deaths from infectious diseases versus the percentage of deaths from non-communicable diseases, that is NCDs. So NCDs, including heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and mental health conditions, now account for nearly 40% of all deaths in the country, while infectious diseases like malaria, TB, and HIV also continue to take a toll on families. To plug the shortage of medics every year, the country needs to add about 3,800 doctors and 20,000 nurses. This newspaper says that with a population of 48 million, Kenya requires 37,392 doctors in total. The current figure stands at 4,272. It also says that 281,472 nurses are expected in the country, but we only have 48,672. That's a very big difference, right?
It is.
281,472, and we can only account for 48,000. That's a very, very big margin. So they say we need 20,000 nurses in order to save the health sector and also to save the country. Other quick headlines here on the front page. Matters politics also mentioned here on the front page. Opposition steps up pressure on Kenya Kwanza in Gusii tour. The united opposition leaders swept through Bomet, Kisii, and Nyamira counties yesterday, telling President Ruto to read the warning signs that his time in the presidency was up. Now, party chiefs Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, and Fred Matiang'i asked Rift Valley and Nyanza residents to back their course. That's a story on page 4. Appeal for surplus maize for North Rift to feed starving Kenyans. And the Kenya Red Cross Society has asked farmers in Uasin Gishu and Trans Nzoia counties to donate surplus maize to famine-stricken Kenyans. The aid agency has offered to transport and distribute the relief aid. And Wamatangi appears before Senate despite governor's defiance. It's a story on page 6. It says that he's the third county boss to break ranks with the Council of Governors over appearance before Senate watchdog committees. These are the stories given prominence on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. At the inside pages, there's a story on page 3, talks about patients suffer as War Memorial Hospital doors remain shut. Court orders directing the reopening of the facility have gone unheeded by the county and hospital management. On the back page, baptism by fire for Tuskers French coach Julien Met. Is it Meti or Met? It says FKF Premier League Gor Mahia lead standings after 21 rounds of matches. That's the Daily Nation this morning.
All right, let's pick up the Standard, fresh off the press, of course. The headlining story is all about the Shameless CSs. It's talking about the mining CS Hassan Joho and his energy counterpart Opio Wandai in action at ODM rallies over the weekend will have easily been mistaken for ODM youth wingers. That was 2 days after Treasurers John Mbadi hosted Luo elders at the ministry's boardroom and discussed ODM affairs. They aren't alone. Some of his administrations CS has consistently flawed section of the Leadership and the Integrity Act on political neutrality, exploit a thin line between publicizing government policies and hot politics, and end up turning the spirit of the law into a joke. And you have their faces spread over there on the front page of the bold paper today. And you remember, this remains to be a very contentious issue. People have been raising these questions, and we've seen some of the CSs coming to defend this, especially with the passing of a conflict of interest act as it is right now, that yes, they can actually go and politicize. But is this a floating of the Leadership and Integrity Act as we know it before? People have been raising accusatory fingers on some of his leaders of, brazenly floating this particular section of the Constitution. So there's a bit of debate and fog hanging around this issue. And we know also the Law Society of Kenya had moved to the courts together with Babu Owino to challenge this particular eventuality that has been, in the public domain so far, where we have CSs politicizing. The positions they are holding is supposed to be very, very, should I say, on an even keel, because you're serving the public. We don't want to see you leaning on one side. That one sort of really compromises your position, you as a leader. So I think that's a big issue. Still on the front page of The Standard, United Opposition storms Gusii land. And you can see how they massed around the leaders yesterday there in Gusii land, and they'll be there for a week. We have Kalonzo Musyoka on the ground, Eugene Wamalwa, amongst other principals of the United Opposition, or as they call it right now, the United Alternative Government. That is a new coinage in town. And someone who was missing, I think it was Martha Karua. She is not in the country. She is in Uganda. But also it brings to bear the question of the Gusii land region and their politics. There has been that question of the Matiang'i factor and how he has been concentrating mostly on Mount Kenya. Was he also losing base of the Gusii land with the high profile that he had, good favor that he had when he came back from the United States, well received. People came out in force to receive him at the airport in Gusii land. It was just another Sifuna moment, so to speak. Has it tapered off? So are they trying to prop him up, to prop up his profile again? This is a question that everyone is asking. And that we shall also be following with our conversation here with our panelists, just looking at the lay of the land in Gusii. How does it also play largely on the political scene that we have? There's a pact between also PNU and Jubilee Party, of which Matiang'i is one of the presidential hopeful. And also is a party leader there. So what is this pact ought to be doing? And we can see some of his leaders within the United Opposition, they are not really together. There has been that particular bile, so to speak, between Matiang'i and also the DCP party leader. This is Rigathi Gachagua, that Matiang'i is out to split, the vote in Mount Kenya. So how sincere and how truthful is this particular sentiment being proffered here? And is this now for public posturing that we have, for optics and political expediency that is coming from this particular rally? That is yet to be seen. We shall be discussing that also with our panelists much later in the course of the program. Should I delve deeper? We can actually just go with Taifa Leo.
All right, let's
try and get some more stories from the Standard as well.
Taifa Leo has the same story, upinzani mawindoni Gusii. Katika siku ya kwanza ya msururu wa ziara ya upinzani, Matiang'i atawazwa mzee na msemaji wa jamii ya Bagusii. Msafara huo ulijumuisha kinara wa DCP Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka wa Wiper, Gavana George Natembeya, Eugene Wamalwa wa DAP-K na Peter Munya wa PNU. Habari kamili kwa katika ukurasa wa pili. Vinara upinzani wakita kambi Gusii kuimarisha ufuasi wakiahidi kushirikiana kwa nia ya kumlemea Ruto mwaka 2027. Of course, Babu, you've said so much about this. Explain vizuri kabisa, in depth. Wako hapa wote akikuwa raised as a Gusii elder now. And we'll be looking forward to see how this will play out, of course. This whole week, they're in Gusii land?
Yes.
All right. Vidokezo zaidi, magavana na maseneta wazozana. Sema kwamba maseneta watishia kususia kikao baina yao na magavana Alhamisi, tofauti zikizidi. Kindiki ahimiza amani mkazi akiuawa kule Mbeere. Ni mfuasi wa DEP adungwa kisu hadi kufa wadi ya Muminji. Chaguzi za wadi zikitarajiwa Alhamisi. Zogo la hospitali ya War Memorial la tesa wagonjwa. Ni hospitali hiyo ilifungwa mnamo mwaka 2027 kutokana na mzozo wa umiliki baina yake na kaunti ya Nakuru. It's also a story mentioned on page 3 of the Daily Nation this morning. On the top strip of Taifa Leo, koti yaomba bunge libadili sheria ya urithi. Mahakama yasema sheria ya zamani imekuwa kibagua wajane wanaoamua kuolewa upya. Na masuala ya spoti pia imepewa kipaumbele katika gazeti, ukurasa wa mbele wa gazeti hili. Inasema kwamba PSG waanza kummezea mate Haaland. Pata uhondo zaidi wa spoti kama vile udaku, ratiba na matokeo ya mechi katika ukurasa wa 13 wa gazeti hili. That's Taifa Leo.
Up next is The Star, and it's headlining the story of Babu Owino. From Kisumu slum to political power. Rise of Babu Owino, ODM firebrand, who advocates for the marginalized. The story is well fleshed out for you on page 6 of The Star. Also, there's a very interesting sidebar story there. Judge absolves Satan, Saitani.
Yes.
In case of murder of 6-year-old. And it says that a High Court judge in Nyeri delivered an extraordinary rebuke from the bench after a convicted killer attempted to blame the devil for the murder of a 6-year-old girl. Justice Kizito Magare rejected the claim outright, saying criminal responsibility lies with the offender, not supernatural forces, before sentencing. Nicholas Macharia, sentencing Nicholas Macharia to death. Macharia was found guilty of killing the child on May 24th last year in Witemere, within Nyeri Township. This story is well fleshed out for you on page 3 of A Star. Interesting.
Satan is innocent.
I'm telling you. You know, even I remember someone was saying, giving a story about Satan found, sitting on the pavement one day crying. So somebody was so sympathetic of a Satan. He went and asked him, why are you crying? He said, these people of the world are accusing me of everything. So he has been absolved. Yeah? Everything. Now we always point to, by the way, if you look at all this murder tapes, stories, everyone is saying, I don't know what really happened to me. I was overwhelmed with some otherworldly powers. I think Satan is to blame. So this was the case as well. That is on page 3. Also, medics probe 2 infection cases after anti-HIV shot. That is a story that you want to follow inside the Star, I should say. And remember, today is a free publication for you. It comes in handy with the MyGov for government tenders and job opportunities, right? All tucked away inside the publication. Rigged system. Ethnic groups running top state jobs. They're all listed here. Let me just try and see what it says here. So if you look at, try and zoom in a bit. The numbers are all there. Principal secretaries, 53 posts. We have CEOs, 248 posts. If we may just look at it.
Numbers per category.
I need just to scroll and give you the numbers because it's in a circular way. It has Kalenjin. When you're talking at, if my director may just put it up so that we may go together. We have principal secretaries, 53 posts. So they've put now the tribes, Kalenjin we have 12, we have Kikuyu at 8, we have Meru at 6, we have Luo at 5, we have Somali at, that is the principal secretaries of the 53 posts, who are making up that particular figure. We have also the COs and VCs. We have 248 posts. Kikuyu are leading at 53. And we have Kalenjin at 44, Luya at 30, Luo 24, Kisii 18, Kamba 18. When it comes to constitutional commissions, we have 44 posts there. Leading there is Kalenjin at 7, Kikuyu followed by 6, Luya 6, Luo 5, Borana 2, Gabra 2, and we have Swahili. State corporation boards, that is 1,936 posts. We have Kikuyu leading at 445.
Wow.
Followed by Kalenjin, 316. We have Luo, 207. Luya, 197. We have Kamba, 141. We have 124. That is from the Gusii land. So this is from the Public Service Commission of Kenya. And when you're talking about the face of Kenya, this is what people are questioning. Why the shareholder principle is still holding. People will question that. And I think that also needs to be looked at.
All right, People Daily, disruptor effect reshaping Kenya's 2027 political landscape. They call it Sisi Ndio Sifuna. Rise of youthful ideological formation, of course, being a headache not only for Ruto, but also for the Oburu Odinga camp and the, what do they call themselves? United, what opposition? There's a new name.
Alternative Government.
United Alternative Government.
Yes.
Of course, the Sisi Ndio Sifuna, disruptor effect reshaping Kenya's 2027 political landscape. That's the story on page 4 of the People Daily today. Inside Prisons Department land scandal is a story on page 5. How land owned by correctional facilities has been lost to grabbers. This is according to a report by Auditor General Narcis Gathungu, who has raised concerns over status of land owned by State Department for, they call it penitentiary. Is it penitentiary? Yes, penitentiary services. There's a story on page 6, talks about cabinet secretaries and politics. Why does executive fail neutrality test? We talked about it on the Standard as well. It's a story on page 6 of the People Daily. Just a quick look at the Business Daily this morning. Eurobond buyback, debt cost taxpayers about 7.3 billion shillings. That's the main story there on the front page of the Business Daily this morning. If you can just take a look at it, Dibal.
Yes, and it says that Kenya offers 4.1 billion shillings discount for Friday debt sales. Investors get 3.2 billion shillings premium for early return of bonds. And it says, just to read a snippet of it, taxpayers have incurred a cost of 7.3 billion shillings as an incentive offered to investors for early buyback of 2 existing Eurobonds and issuance of longer-term replacement bonds to fund it. The incentives are a price discount to investors who bought the country's $2.25 billion, that is 290.3 billion shillings bond last week, and a premium offered in a buyback $500 million from owners of the debt. The rest of the story is tucked away on page 2 of the Business Daily. Also, state take on Uber Bolt within JKIA tax hailing up. This is a story that you want to follow inside the Business Daily as well. And it says that Kenya Airport's manager is set to deploy an on-branded taxi hailing app for Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, eyeing a share of the local passenger traffic dominated by Uber and Bolt. The Kenya Airports Authority has advertised tenders from technology firms to design, develop and manage a mobile and web-based tax dispatch platform for licensed airport taxis under public-private partnership model. The Kenya or KAA branded mobile app targets facing out drivers operating yellow taxi cabs. Well, this could be for security reasons. I don't know why they're actually taking up this initiative. But when you see this, you need maybe to just plumb deep and find all the details and what is really prompting this idea. This is Inside the Business Daily. You can follow the story on page 2 of the Business Daily. And we have also on the ticker side, U.S. investor sues city developer over botched off-plan deal. An American investor has sued a Nairobi property developer over 225 million shillings off-plan deal, alleging unfair termination after paying for 7 units. Netbank guaranteed control, 51.17% stake in NCBA. That is in a story you can follow inside the Business Daily as well. And investor Max adopts strategic patience, cultivate local partnerships, and remain flexible in their approach. That is a story that you want to follow inside the Business Daily this morning. Make sure you get all the wiser as far as biashara is concerned.
All right, let's take a look at what cartoonists are saying this morning. The Star